Title: The Timekeeper's Redemption. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled deep within the heart of a dense forest, there lived a man named Eliot. He was an unremarkable figure, known to the townsfolk as the keeper of the town's clock tower. Eliot had served in this role for as long as anyone could remember, and he did so with utmost dedication. The clock tower was the heartbeat of the town, its steady ticking providing comfort to all who dwelled within its shadow. Eliot's life was simple. He followed a strict routine, winding the clock every morning and evening, ensuring its hands moved smoothly as they counted the hours. The townspeople relied on him, not just to tell the time but also for a sense of order in their lives. In return, they respected him and offered him their gratitude in various forms. As the years passed, Eliot became known for his punctuality and unwavering commitment. His life revolved around the clock tower, and he was content in its rhythm. However, there was a side to Eliot that no one knew about, a secret he had been hiding for as long as he could remember. Eliot possessed a unique gift, a gift he had inherited from his ancestors. He could manipulate time itself. This gift had been passed down through generations, but Eliot had never dared to use it. The power to control time was a heavy burden, and he feared the consequences of tampering with the natural order. One fateful evening, as Eliot was winding the clock, a deep sense of despair washed over him. His life had become a monotonous cycle, devoid of purpose or meaning. He looked at the clock's hands, moving tirelessly, and realized that he had spent his entire existence serving others, always putting their needs before his own. The townspeople appreciated his dedication, but did they truly understand the sacrifices he had made? That night, Eliot made a decision that would change his life forever. He would use his gift to turn back time and relive his life, to experience the world beyond the clock tower, and to fulfill his own desires. With a heavy heart, he stopped the clock's hands and closed his eyes, focusing all his energy on reversing time. As he opened his eyes, he found himself standing at the crossroads of his life, a moment from his past. The world around him was a blur of memories, and he had the power to choose his path. Eliot decided to venture out into the world, to explore the wonders that had always eluded him.
For the first time in his life, Eliot experienced the thrill of adventure. He traveled far and wide, from bustling cities to serene countryside, and met people from all walks of life. He tasted exotic cuisines, listened to captivating stories, and fell in love with the beauty of the world. Time was his to control, and he reveled in every moment. Years passed, and Eliot's life was transformed. He had achieved all the dreams he had once held back. But as the years rolled on, he began to notice something unsettling. The world had changed. The town he had left behind was no longer the same. It had fallen into disarray, its once thriving community struggling to survive without the guidance of the clock tower. Guilt gnawed at Eliot's heart. He realized that by abandoning his post, he had disrupted the order of his town and caused suffering to the very people he had sworn to serve. He knew he had to return, to set things right, and to make amends for the selfish choices he had made. With a heavy heart, Eliot turned the clock's hands forward, retracing the years he had spent exploring the world. He arrived back at the crossroads of his life, the moment he had left behind. This time, however, he chose a different path, one that led him back to the town he had abandoned. Upon his return, Eliot was met with a mixture of surprise and relief. The townspeople, who had mourned his absence, welcomed him with open arms. They were grateful to see their beloved timekeeper once again. Eliot resumed his duties at the clock tower, his heart filled with remorse for the years he had squandered. But the town was not the same as it had been when he left. It had lost its sense of community, and the people were divided. Eliot realized that merely turning back time could not undo the damage he had caused. He needed to do more to heal the wounds he had inflicted upon his town. Eliot began by reaching out to the townspeople individually, listening to their concerns, and offering his support. He worked tirelessly to rebuild the sense of unity that had been lost during his absence. Slowly but surely, the town started to recover. The clock tower once again became the symbol of order and togetherness, and Eliot was revered not just for his punctuality but also for his compassion and dedication to the community. Years passed, and Eliot grew old. He had come full circle, from selfishness to selflessness, from exploration to restoration. He had learned that true happiness did not lie in pursuing one's desires but in serving others and nurturing the bonds of community. As Eliot lay on his deathbed, surrounded by the grateful townspeople he had come to love, he looked at the clock's hands one last time. They continued to move, marking the passage of time as they always had. But now, he understood their true significance. They were a reminder that life was precious, and every moment should be treasured. With a contented smile, Eliot closed his eyes for the final time, knowing that he had found redemption in the most unexpected of places, the steady, unchanging rhythm of the clock tower he had faithfully served for so many years. And so, The town's timekeeper passed away, leaving behind a legacy of selflessness and a town forever changed by his actions. The clock tower continued to tick, its hands marking the passage of time, a reminder to all that life was a gift to be cherished, and that true happiness was found in the service of others.